Welcome back to the MadSpideyverse. I'm MadSpidey, and thank you once again for tuning into my channel. Today I happened to just get a little parcel with a couple of decent books in it, so thought I'd just open it up, show you what it is, and yeah, share what it is and go mad mail call time. So let's get stuck into it straight away. Now there's only 2 books in here. Once again, I was able to strike, I'll say strike gold, I suppose. Or should I say strike silver. On one of my Facebook groups, I think it was a claim sale. I don't think it was an auction this time, but yeah, my Facebook group tend to come through with the goods again. I was lucky enough to actually snag these. They'd been sitting up there for a little while, because sometimes, you know, when some decent books come up at decent price, quite often they're usually snagged pretty quickly. I think I may have seen the post a couple of hours after it was originally done. But I messaged the guy and he said, no, they're still available. So big shout out to Jaden. This is the first time I've actually ever bought anything off him, but he's been in the groups for quite a while. And yeah, I said to him, I said, look, you know, I'd really love to be able to grab the books. Am I able to pay them off? We worked out a deal. Actually able to pay them off. And yeah, they finally arrived today. Not the greatest packaging in the world, but it does the job. And as I've said before, unfortunately, a lot of Aussies do not know how to do pull tabs, which is rather annoying, but I'd rather it be safe. Yeah. Ugh, still trying to get into it. Tape everywhere. So we've got it with the books. All right. So there we go. All right. So as I said, 2 books, Silver Age, Marvel goodness, and they are both sub 10 books. So when you're talking sub 10 books, so obviously with Marvel in the Silver Age, you got, you know, the starters. So you got, you know, your Fantastic Four, your X-Men, your Spider-Man, I'm drawing a blank now, Daredevil, those sort of ones. And then you got the ones that came a little bit later in the 60s, like your Silver Surfer and Iron Man, things like that. Obviously, a lot of them were in multiple books, like your Tales to Astonish, Journey into Mystery, those sort of books. But yeah, like we're talking about the original lot. So your Spider-Man, Fantastic Four, stuff like that. So getting sub 10 books, regardless of whether they're a key or not, is always something that I try and get if I can. Especially if, you know, obviously if I can afford it, because sub 10 books, one, are not cheap, because nearly all sub 10 books are generally all keys. And some really, really big keys as well. And 2, they're rarer and harder to find and super expensive. Even if they are a cheap book overseas in the States or Canada, they're generally still expensive over here. So, but we all know I talk about that all the time, so we won't get into that too much. But yeah, it did really well on this lot. So, super glad to get my first 2 sub 10 X-Men books. So we have X-Men number 7. So these are obviously low grade, but still complete, just the way I like it. So X-Men number 7. So this is the 2nd appearance of Blob. And I believe it is also the first appearance or first mention of Cerebro. So very, very happy to acquire that. but this one is the, I'd like to say definitely bigger book. It's definitely the bigger book. Might not necessarily be the biggest first appearance book, but still the bigger of the two books. Xmen number 2. So super, super low. I believe this is the first appearance of the Vanisher. But, and I've said this before, and a lot of people will say this, if you can't afford the first appearance, try and get the second appearance. So this is technically the second appearance of the Xmen. So, which is pretty cool. Super, super happy, especially to get this one. Obviously, this was the more expensive of the two books. So original lineup, second appearance of the original lineup, and second appearance of the Xmen, and as I said, first appearance of the Vanisher. So yeah, so super, super happy to own those two books and to have my first two sub 10 Xmen books. So yeah, so that is super awesome that I was able to pick those up, finally able to pay them off, get them in my hands, add them to the collection, and yeah, awesome. So anyway, that'll do for this particular video. Hope you enjoyed it. Do all the usual YouTube stuff. Leave a comment if you want to. Hit the thumbs up on your way out. And please, please hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. So anyway, hope you enjoy the rest of your day. And Spidey out.